When Carl Holder was city manager still, he was ushered at his church one day, and a woman came in and he said, where would you like to sit? She said, I want to sit on the front row. He said, no, you won't sit there. She said, why? He said, our preacher's dull and bored and he'll put you to sleep. She said, do you know who I am? He said, no. She said, I'm the pastor's mother. He said, do you know who I am? She said, no, sir. He said, thank God. When Dan Pascal was younger, he shaved with a straight razor. And one morning, a fly was swarming around his head, and he swiped at it with his straight razor. And he missed the fly, but he sliced off the tip of his nose. And he dropped the razor on his toe and sliced off the tip of his toe. So they carried him to the emergency room along with the tips of his toe and the tip of his nose. And the emergency room got them mixed up. So they sewed the tip of his toe over the tip of his nose, and the tip of his nose over the tip of his toe. So now he smells feet all the time. And when he sneezes, he has to take off his shoes. Harold Bass has been dating a pretty young, 18-year-old, pretty, energetic young girl. In fact, he told me they were going to get married at Christmas. I said, Harold, don't you think that's dangerous at your age and her so young? He says, well, if she dies, she dies. David Flowers and John Etheridge were going to Nashville one day on BPU business. They decided to take the scenic route and go through Dixon. Well, they got into a pretty remote area, and they saw a sign, and David said, Charlotte. Didn't know we had that in Tennessee. And John said, it's not Charlotte, it's Charlotte. And they argued back and forth, and they saw a Burger King. They said, it's getting dinner time, let's just stop there and ask her where we are. And so they did, and the waitress came around, and David said, tell her where we are and say it slow and loud so we can understand. She said, Burger King. Now this is a true story. When I was still at the clinic, I really tried to speak especially cheerful and friendly to people that were learning challenged. They looked so dejected and unhappy, and it was so nice to see them brighten up whenever you spoke to them. I saw a young man one day, maybe 12 or 14, and I spoke to him real friendly, asked him how he was. He said he's fine. Said, my sister got married. I said, who did she marry? He said, the groom. Now, Dan Jackson tries to say the right thing. Sometimes it's just not the right thing to say. He saw a lady and spoke to her. He said, how's your mother? She said, oh, Dan, she went to heaven last week. So he started to say, I'm glad. And he thought, no, that's not right. She's dead. Then he started to say, I'm sorry. And he thought, no, can't say that. She's gone to heaven. So he said, I'm surprised.
Are you even?
Well, since I'm home full time now, I've been watching a lot of Christmas shows and televangelists, and I've just gotten full of the Holy Spirit. And I just got real enthusiastic one day about the love of Jesus and how much I love Jesus. And I went out to the Christian bookstore and I got one of those signs, bumper stickers, that says honk if you love Jesus. Well, I put it on right then and there, getting close to 4 o'clock. And I was at the intersection of Tyson Avenue and Mineral Wells, 4 o'clock, and just lost in thinking about how good Jesus is. And somebody honked their horn behind me, and I was surprised. But it's a good thing they honked. I didn't realize anyone would confess that soon if they loved Jesus. It's a good thing you honked, because I hadn't noticed that the light had changed either. And I found that a lot of people loved Jesus. A lot of people started honking. And one person even leaned out the window and said, "For the love of God, go, go, go." I thought, now here's a real cheerleader for Jesus. I leaned out my window and started waving and smiling at all those loving people, and I even honked my horn a few times. It must have been somebody back there from Florida, because he said something about a sunny beach. Well, another guy waved at me in a funny way, but I never had seen anybody wave that way. He had his middle finger extended. I didn't know what that meant. And my grandson was in the car with me. I asked him what that meant. He said, "Oh, that was a Hawaiian love sign or something." Well, I've never met anybody from Hawaii, but I waved back. Now, my grandson just burst out laughing. And whenever your grandson, teenage grandson, starts loving in the joy of the Lord, that's just an exhilarating feeling. And two people started walking to my car, and I thought they probably wanted me to pray or find out what church I went to or something, but the light changed then, so I drove on through it. But I was the only one that got through, so I felt kind of sorry for those loving people back there. And I slowed down one more time, rolled down the window, and I waved at them that Hawaiian love sign.